Happy New Year! Welcome back. It is January 2022. Wow, here we are, right in the middle of summer here in New Zealand. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying warm in the Northern Hemisphere. Yeah, it's a Sunday morning. I thought I would do some vinyl finds. Yeah, that's it really. We've got about 6 or 7 things. I am particularly happy with these purchases. I always seem to start the year off really focused and deciding to get stuff from my want list. And I usually seem to start January and February really strong, and then towards the end of the year, I always seem to get distracted by new reissues or new things or things I see in stores. I'm trying again not to do that this year, but we'll see. I just always feel like I start January with things that I really want, and then lose the ball a bit later in the year. But yeah, we'll kind of go all around the world with this one. But start off with this. This is something that I've been after for quite a few years, and after seeing it on various vinyl pages. This is the Binder Quintet featuring John Chakai. If you watch Jamie over at Infinite Sounds channel, he does a way better description of what this is compared to what I'm about to give you. Please check out his channel if you don't already know it. It's really amazing. Yeah, I kind of rewatched his video about 6 months ago, and I was like, oh, I should really get that. I've been wanting it for ages, and it's still really cheap. So I jumped on discogs on Boxing Day this year and just decided to grab one straight from Hungary. Yeah, this is amazing. It originally came out on Krem Records in 1983 out of Hungary. Don't let 1983, the year, put you off. This does not sound like an early 80s record. This sounds like I guess the simplest way to put it is a spiritual jazz record. To me it sounds very beautiful and soft and powerful, very moody. I would almost say it's very like film-ic, if that's even a word. I could see it being used in a film or a movie, and a really powerful scene. And also it starts off with a harmonica, which I think is fantastic. I can't think of many jazz records that start off with a harmonica. Oh, actually, Archie Shepp does it on Blase, and I think a couple of other ones. But yeah, this is really beautiful. Trombones, tenor saxophones, contrabass, drum. Yeah, there's some really, really soft, beautiful moments, some really measured tension building things. Yeah, it feels very, very dramatic. I really like this record a lot. I think it's very underrated. Kind of a cheap heat thing. I mean, it's not dirt cheap, but it definitely punches way above its weight for the amount that people buy it for, I think. Yeah, so please check this out of Hungary. This is the Binder Quintet, 1983. Also, I should say John Chakai is amazing on this. He plays some stuff that's very sort of textured and backgroundy, then he sort of does some stuff that's a bit more. I mean, there's one track that's very Coltrane-esque related. He's definitely someone that I need to go and check out stuff where he's a band leader. I have some things that he plays on, but he's definitely someone that I don't know enough about, and I haven't checked out some of his things. So if you have any recommendations on the John Chakai tip, please let me know, because he's someone that I need to get more familiar with, because I really like what I've heard of the things that I've got where he's on. The other one is a absolute classic, I think. This is the new folk sound of Terry Callier. Now, I have been after this one for the longest time. Originals are way out of my price range, and there was a sort of questionable reissue about 10 years ago that I could have bought a couple of times, but I heard the quality wasn't great. I had no idea that this had been reissued by Kraft Recordings a few years ago until I saw it in a store over Christmas. So this is a 2LP. They've done an amazing job with the gatefold. It's on thick, glossy card. This is 2 LPs, and there's side 3 and 4 with a whole bunch of bonus tracks. Yeah, so I kind of was like, wow, shit, this came out in 2018. I had no idea this existed, so I was really happy to grab this. It came out originally in '66 on Prestige, and this is if you're familiar with What Color Is Love and Occasional Rain and stuff like that, this is very different. This is essentially a folk record. He's doing folk tracks, folk classic tracks with a really beautiful voice. I really love this record. I think it's really special and really unique. Do I prefer it to the other ones? I think I might. I'm not sure. Yeah, he just takes my breath away. He's so I don't know, it's like sorrowful and powerful and meaningful, and I can really feel his words. It's a really special piece of music. I think he's an amazing talent. If you're in any doubt or don't know this, please just check out the first track called 900 Miles, and you'll be sold on it. If you like folk and blues music, this is right up your alley. The new folk sound of Terry Callier. Wonderful work. There's a few more reissues, and then there's a couple of really exciting ones for me at the end, so that's worth sticking around for if you're disappointed so far. Another reissue that honestly has been on my list for the longest time, since the first reissue came out in like 2011. This is the Mr. Bongo pressing. Lula Cortez Ezeramalho. I am butchering that. This is called Paebiru. Paebiru. Now it's very hard to describe what this is. It originally came out in 1976. It's Brazilian. It was originally on a label called Solar. I mean, it's the easiest and laziest way to say it. It's like a psychedelic, deep, tribal jungle trip. Like it is absolutely strange and psychedelic and heavy. But then there's sort of lighter parts and bits with really beautiful acoustic parts. I guess, yeah, you kind of would say it's a Brazilian psych record. It feels very spiritual and moving. They've done a lovely job with this gatefold here. Yeah, I think most of you would know what this is. But yeah, it is absolutely fantastic. I don't know why I never bought it when it was originally reissued. I think it was quite expensive. I can't really remember, but yeah, this is absolutely wonderful. I can highly recommend this if you don't know it already. I think most people would do. Yeah, it's definitely, I guess, a journey and a trip is how I would describe it. It goes through a lot of moods and speeds and paces. It can be quite claustrophobic in parts with some really heavy drumming and moody bass, and then there's parts where it really opens up and sounds really bright and playful, and it kind of feels like you've come through the canopy of the jungle, so to speak, and the sunlight's there. Yeah, it's really great. I really like it. So we've done Hungary, we've done America, we've done Brazil. Let's go to Japan. This is a wonderful record here called Beautiful Bamboo Flute. So this is Hosen Yamamoto with Sharps and Flats. Sharps and Flats have done some amazing stuff on, oh my god, what the hell is it called? The Nimbus West label, and Hosen Yamamoto, you may know him from the Silver World album, and there's something else that's escaping the name right now. But yeah, this originally came out in '71 on the Philips label. This is also a Mr. Bongo reissue. If that cover doesn't sort of get your attention, I don't know what will. This is really stunning stuff. I would say this is kind of like a big band, jazzy, funky flute record. There's some really beautiful playing, some really beautiful orchestration. This is a weird description, but like I've seen bits of the show Cowboy Bebop, the Japanese anime show, and that soundtrack is super cool. I think some of the stuff would fit right onto that. I wouldn't say I'm a big fan of the show. I've just seen a few of the originals and a few of the reboot thing on Netflix, and it just reminds me exactly of that. It's just super fun, super funky. Yeah, it's just a record that's happy and fun, and I don't know how to describe it. It just makes me smile. Beautiful Bamboo Flute. I mean, but before I knew what this was, I remember seeing the cover around, and I always assumed it was going to be you know, beautiful bamboo flute in terms of being a lot more traditional and maybe a bit more restrained and kind of maybe more inward looking, but this is not that at all. There's some amazing funky bass playing, really big, bright, big band sounds that are kind of exploding into life. Yeah, it's a really great balance. I can really recommend this. It's super cool. Hosan, Yamamoto, and sharps and flats. Okay, let's go. We'll go to Europe. This is a reissue. I spotted this on a local trading website and I grabbed it quite cheap. This is Michael Naura Quartett Call. Michael Naura, everyone knows the Vanessa album at ECM. It's quite sought after these days. This features Eberhard Weber, who, as we all know, is an absolutely amazing bass player. He can really add a lot of weight and texture and feeling to any record. So this is a weird one in terms that it's mainly a Fender Rhodes vibraphone and piano kind of thing. Yeah, it's kind of very floaty. Sorry, I'm just reading it. Yeah, so there's a vibraphone, electric piano, bass and drums, I should say. Not Fender Rhodes. I knew that was wrong. Anyway. Yeah, it's a very floaty, groovy, laid back. It almost feels kind of easy listening in parts, which some of the tracks are okay, and then some of them are absolutely amazing. And for me, it's Eberhard Weber that really kind of locks us into a groove, and you know, like, it just gives it a feel. Yeah, it's very kind of floaty and light, and breezy is not really the word for it, but it kind of just seems to float all above you. Yeah, there's some really interesting parts going on with the drumming. Yeah, I really like it. I just don't, you know, electric piano and vibraphone I thought would be a bit bright, but no, it's really great. This is a really great record. I really recommend it. I wouldn't say it's, you know, 5 stars all the way through. I think there's some weaker compositions, but there's definitely, you know, 3 or 4 of the tracks are really, really outstanding, and definitely worth having. The Call. Actually, it's not The Call, it's just Call. Cool. Okay, 2 more. And we are done. Okay, so this one is what I bought for myself for Christmas. That's what I have to do. This is Dances and Rhythms of the Turks, to translate it, I guess. Of Turkey, I should say. Of Yesterday and Today by the Mogol, or Les Mogol. This, I can't remember who told me about this. It might have been someone like Chris Cole many years ago, or even Scott Mays many years ago. But ever since, it's been on my want list. I mean, just look at that cover. It's absolutely fantastic. This is, yeah, a mixture of traditional Turkish music and, I guess, more modern. By modern, I mean like 1971, because that's when it came out. So yeah, it's kind of like a mixture of, the first half is like traditional Turkish music, and the second half is almost like, you would call it Turkish pop influenced, or, you know, with a funky touch to it. It's not super funky, but there's some funky playing going on. You know, if you're into that classic 70s, you know, all the big names stuff, then side 2 leans toward that more. I wouldn't say it's not as funky as that, but there's some really nice arrangements, and some, it's like, on the second side, some of the stuff, they're not trying to be funky, but they kind of are. I don't know how to describe it better than that. But yeah, I'm really happy to have this. I think this is overall a fantastic record. It sounds incredible. Like, the texture on the instruments is wonderful. Yeah, I'm really happy to get this. I think this is top shelf stuff. But yeah, please check it out on the internet. This is I think a French pressing on the Concert Hall Record Club label. There is a Turkish pressing, but I wanted to get one that I could afford and was in decent shape. But yeah, it's got a lovely flip back on the cover here. Yeah, I'm really happy. I was smiling when this came in the mail and I opened it, and it was kind of exactly as described. yeah, so that was that. We got one more. I just remembered I need to grab something on the shelves. I'll be back. So, you know how we are as record collectors. If you watch this channel kind of frequently, you'll know that I picked up this last year and I was really happy about it. It was kind of a strange handmade promo copy of Joe Chambers' The Almoravid. I was really happy to get it, but for some reason, being a graphic designer and being a record collector and being a nerd, I just wasn't satisfied unless I got one with a cover. So I've been keeping an eye out, and I found another one that I could live with the intention of selling this to make up for the other one, but I might not do that now. We'll see. So I did finally get a proper copy here, and yes, I'm probably paying stupid prices because I have to get this shipped to New Zealand. But I just had to do it. I absolutely love this record, so yeah, it had to be done. I've talked about this before many times, so I'm not going to say it too much. I guess this ties up the whole going around the world trip. You know, we've been there, been through Europe and South America, and we're back to I guess America, but this is obviously very influenced by North African Almoravid culture and the Berber dynasty, I guess. Some really percussive playing on here. This is a absolute gem. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a super cool, unique item in itself. It's a promo copy, so I probably will keep them both, which is very rare for me. But yeah, I'm so super glad to get a proper Muse pressing. Wonderful. So there we go. Thank you for sitting through that. I hope you're all well. I will admit I've been shit at watching videos. I only watch a couple of people's now. I don't know why. I've just lost the will to watch videos. It's probably because it's summertime, to be honest. Yeah, but that's all. Thank you all for watching again. Thank you all for the new subscribers. Hopefully 2022 is a positive, fruitful one for everybody. See you all soon.